The upper class of Beijing has a shared secret. The number one female billionaire in Beijing loves her husband as much as her own life. But on the side, she likes to seek novelty and excitement. She plays for high stakes. The only taboo is not to let her husband find out. Everyone knows. The husband who has been with her for 12 years is her weakness. If her husband disappears for just 1 hour, she will go crazy. However, this time, she couldn't hide it anymore. The boy this time was very disobedient. He relied on her affection and sent me a pregnancy test. On it, the name of the spouse was Gunan Chao. Next came a series of provocative messages. I know you realized it this morning. The mother of my future child is Nan Chao. I don't think she loves you that much. If she really loved you, then what would my existence be? Do you know how obsessed she is with me? Every year on your wedding anniversary, after she sleeps with you, she comes to me, and she's very demanding. We use up several boxes every time. The next day, her voice is always hoarse. We've done it in your Maybach, in your chairman's office. We've even left our traces in your wedding room. Does she do that many things for you? Looking at these provocative messages, I took a deep breath, suppressing the rising nausea in my heart. I picked up the phone and made a call. Mr. Bui, excuse me. Are you sure you want to erase all your personal information? After deletion, this person you are will no longer exist. No one will be able to find you. I was silent for a moment. Then I nodded resolutely. I want it so that no one can find me. The person on the other end was a little surprised, but still gave an immediate answer. All right, Mr. Bui. The procedure is expected to be completed in half a month. Please wait. Patiently, after hanging up, I took out my phone and booked a plane ticket to country F for half a month from now. A month ago, I discovered that Gunan Xiao had been seeing someone else for a long time. By day she was with me. By night she was with that man. Her heart had long been divided between two people. It's just as the saying goes. Why does the passionate one turn cold first, while the one who is hard to win over unceasingly remains fervent? I gave a sarcastic laugh. Then I printed out the divorce agreement I had prepared long ago. I signed my name, stroke by stroke. I will keep my word from before. I will disappear from her world forever. After signing, I placed the divorce agreement in an exquisite gift box. I wrapped it carefully. An hour later, Junan Chao pushed the door open and walked in. Before she could even change her shoes, she rushed over. She leaned into my arms and whispered an apology. I am sorry, Chao. I went to get a gift today, so I came back late. I missed our wedding anniversary. Please don't be angry, okay? Junan Chao took a gift box out of her bag. She coaxed me. The collar of her white shirt was slightly open. The top button was undone. The moment she bowed her head, the countless hickeys on the skin beneath her collar stabbed deep into my eyes. I am afraid she just left Lin Yao's bed. But Gunan Chao didn't notice my oddness. With loving eyes, she put the watch on for me. It highlighted my well-defined knuckles. Very handsome. A Chao is so handsome, Junan Chao praised sincerely. Her eyes shone with amazement, but I showed no joy. My eyes turned red. I took the gift box on the table, the one with the divorce agreement inside, and presented it to her. This is for you. Gunan Chao was confused. What is it? I curled my lip. An anniversary gift. You prepared a gift for me, so of course I have to give one in return. Gunan Xiao's eyes immediately lit up with joy. She instantly treated it like a treasure and wanted to open it, but I stopped her. Open it in half a month. Why? She was a little confused. I said word by word, because this gift will be more meaningful if you open it in half a month. Hearing this, Gunan Xiao was stunned for a moment, but she didn't ask any more questions. She stood on her tiptoes and kissed the corner of my mouth. Whatever you say goes. I'll look forward to this surprise. After saying that, she acted like an obedient puppy. She tore off a sticky note, wrote a line on it, and solemnly stuck it onto the gift box. Open in half a month. I silently watched her do all of this. Gunan Chao, I hope you'll be truly surprised then. The next morning when I woke up, Nan Chao gave me a good morning kiss as usual. A Chao. I missed our anniversary yesterday. Let me make it up to you today. Let's go to the amusement park. Didn't you say you wanted to go? I am not interested. I was just about to refuse, but Gunan Chao had already taken care of everything, packing the things we needed for the outing. When we got to the amusement park, she was almost always attentively taking care of me. I had just pursed my lips, and she had already thoughtfully brought water to my mouth. Roller coasters, haunted houses, water rides. Gunan Chao didn't care at all if the rides were dangerous or thrilling, as long as I liked them. She would go on them with me. A handsome man and a beautiful woman, looking affectionate. It made countless visitors in the amusement park turn their heads. Soon, someone recognized them. Look, isn't that President Chao and her husband? I can't believe we're seeing them in person. Here, they're so sweet. A girl from a young couple jumped up and down excitedly. She pulled her boyfriend in front of me. Can we take a picture with you too? We really like you both. We're your #1 couple fans. I looked at the girl's excited expression. I didn't want to disappoint her, so I agreed. Gunan Chao doesn't like taking photos, but she was willing to cooperate for me. Click. After the photo was taken, the young couple excitedly rushed to say, "You two have such a great relationship. It's so enviable. You must always stay this way." Gunan Chao nodded with a smile, but she didn't realize that I, standing beside her, hadn't said a word from start to finish, because only I knew that we no longer had a future. During the lunch break, she repeatedly looked at her phone. Noticing my gaze, She quickly and apologetically coaxed a chow. I am sorry, I have some urgent work to take care of. You eat first. I'll be right back with you. Okay? However, the next moment, a lavish castle-shaped gift flashed across her phone screen. She was lying. She wasn't handling work. She was watching a live stream. I sarcastically curled my lip. Then I silently opened Lin Yao's livestream channel on my phone. Lin Yao was an unknown internet celebrity, but not long ago, Gunan Chao signed him to her company. She even made him the product ambassador for her company. Everyone was guessing that with such good resources, he must have a backer. Who would have thought that his backer was Gunan Xiao herself? Right now, Lin Yao was live streaming from the amusement park entrance. He held his phone and proudly showed off to the viewers, "Look everyone, this amusement park was a gift from my girlfriend. Mention my name and you'll get a discount. Everyone is welcome to come and play." Hearing this, my hand, holding the phone, suddenly turned cold. A chill emanated from my whole body. This amusement park she brought me to was the one she gave to Lin Yao. The comment section was full of questions. Stop bragging. How could a small celebrity like you be worthy of such a rich woman? It's probably just for clicks. There's no proof. I could stand at the entrance of the amusement park and say it's mine too. He's desperate for fame. You know this amusement park is worth hundreds of millions, Lin Yao said defensively. I am not lying. Is this my name on here or not? As he spoke, he took out the property ownership certificate. In black and white, it clearly stated the name Lin Yao. At this point, the live stream room exploded. A barrage of messages scrolled up. People continuously expressed their admiration. It was me who was ignorant. I've met a real tycoon today, gifting an entire amusement park just like that. This grand way of spoiling her man is on par with President Chow, who is famous for loving her husband as much as her own life. Why haven't I ever met this kind of rich woman? Come on everyone, let's discuss. Who thinks President Chiao loves Mr. Bui more? Or that Lin Yao's girlfriend loves Lin Yao more? Press 1 for the former. Press 2 for the latter. Below, the screen was filled with the number 1. After all, Gunan Chao spoiling her husband is famous. She not only spends money, but almost lost her life. Until this moment, an account named AI Yao suddenly appeared. It continuously gifted 10,000 yachts. Almost the entire screen was filled with sparkling effects. It was astonishing. This gift drop. The number of people in Lin Yao's livestream room instantly soared from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. Then, a prominent line of text lit up. Of course, I love a Yao more. The livestream room instantly exploded. Everyone started messaging frantically. The main character has appeared. So rich. So rich. Lin Yao smiled smugly. See? I told you my girlfriend loves me. My hand holding the phone trembled slightly. I looked up again, just in time to see the corner of Gunan Qiao's lips curve up slightly. Her eyes were full of love. She was AI Yao. My heart felt like it was being squeezed tightly. The other person had let go, but I still couldn't feel the pain. I was in excruciating pain. My right hand clutched my chest. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Gunan Qiao finally noticed something was wrong. She suddenly rushed over. A Chao. What's wrong? The worry in her eyes didn't seem fake. It was as if something happened to me, she would collapse on the spot. But this person who loved me so much was hiding so much from me. I tried to control my emotions. I am fine. I just choked. A bit. Gunan Chi checked multiple times to see if I was okay. Then she hurried me home to rest. On the way back, she tried to tell funny stories to cheer me up. But no matter what she tried, I couldn't bring myself to be happy. I was silent. My expression was unreadable. A Shao. Did I do something wrong? She asked tentatively. No. I finally spoke. I was just thinking about the movie I watched today. Gunan Qiao immediately breathed a sigh of relief. She smiled and continued the conversation. What movie was it? Hearing that, I slowly turned to look into Gunan Qiao's eyes. The female lead used to love the male lead very much, but then she had a change of heart. She always kept it from the male lead. I silently looked at her face, noticing every small change in her expression. I said softly, Gunan Qiao, if one day you have a change of heart, I absolutely will not. Halfway through her sentence, Gunan Qiao hurriedly interrupted, as if she couldn't accept that possibility. A Qiao, the person I love most in this life is you. Even if every woman in the world could be unfaithful, I would not be. I can't live without you. But I only felt a sharp pain in my heart. Just as I was about to speak, Gunan Qiao's phone suddenly rang. She hesitated for a moment, intending to hang up. I said coldly, just answer it. Only then did Gunan Qiao obediently answer the phone. I don't know what was said on the other end. Her expression went from normal at first to her pupils constricting slightly. Her expression became a little unnatural. Immediately, her lips moved. She hung up the phone. Looking at me, she said, A Shao, something urgent came up at the company. I have to go right now. I'll call a car to take you home. I said nothing. I just nodded and got out of the car. I watched to you, Nan Qiao's Maybach. After it drove away, I got into a taxi, but I didn't go back to the villa. Instead, I spoke up. Excuse me, follow that car in front. The driver didn't ask any questions. He started the car and followed at a steady pace until the car in front stopped before a villa. Not far away, a boy in a uniform opened the door. Seeing the woman get out of the car, he immediately smiled and hugged her. The boy was Lin Yao. The woman was Gunan Xiao. They had just embraced, and they were already kissing eagerly. Their lips and tongues tangled for a long time. Only then did Lin Yao pull away from the breathless Gunan Xiao. He smiled and tugged lightly at her collar. "Mistress, I've prepared an even bigger surprise for you. Do you want to see it?" As he spoke, his fingertip lightly touched her lips. Gunan Xiao leaned against him. Her eyes were filled with desire. "A 30-minute journey, and I got here in just 15 minutes. Darling, do you think I want to see it?" Lin Yao chuckled softly. He pulled her slender hand towards the car. Inside, not long after they got into the car began to shake gently. Then the shaking grew more and more intense. No one knew that I was watching this scene from a car not far away. I clearly had no illusions left about her. But when I actually saw this scene, it turned out to be as painful as a knife's cut, like a sharp hook suddenly snagging my heart. I pressed hard on my chest. The male driver in front saw my state. He sighed deeply. "Comrade, don't be sad. You're already married. Just endure it. Forgive her this time. Pretend you didn't see anything." I spoke word by word in a hoarse voice, but with extreme determination. "No, I will not forgive Gunan Xiao." After returning home, I gathered all the gifts Gunan Xiao had ever/aid given me, including the expensive watch. I made a phone call. "Is this the asset agency? I want to sell all of these things. The proceeds will all be donated to charity." It only took an hour. I had sent everything away. Then I started packing my luggage. I was halfway through packing when Gunan Xiao suddenly returned. She burst in with the wind and rain. She didn't even have an umbrella. Her whole body was soaked and cold. But she didn't have time to change. Instead, she anxiously rushed to me. Her voice trembled. "Hey Xiao, why did you sell the watch?" "The watch was very expensive. To sell it, the only way was through an auction house. Therefore, Gunan Xiao must have seen the watch appear at the auction house." I didn't answer right away. Instead, I asked back, "You went to the auction house?" Gunan Xiao froze. Her expression was a bit evasive. Only after a few seconds did she reply, "I was planning to buy some collectibles." "Are you buying for me? Or for Lin Yao?" "Lin Yao prepared such a big surprise for you. Of course, you have to reciprocate." I controlled my emotions well. My tone was calm. "I didn't sell it. I gave it away." Hearing this, Gunan Xiao somewhat helplessly took my hand. Xiao, I know you're kind-hearted, but if you want to give something away, you can use something else. But this one, you can't give away." After speaking, she took a box from her bag and placed it in front of me. The black velvet box opened. It was that watch. "I've bought it back. This watch is a testament to my love for you. You can't take it off no matter what." As she spoke, Gunan Xiao personally put it on for me again. I looked at the watch, returned to its owner on my wrist. I laughed, mockingly. "Gunan Xiao. Oh, Gunan Xiao, how can your acting be this good? Just now, you rushed back from another man's side, and now you can speak words of love to me." That night, just as I was falling asleep, Gunan Xiao's phone suddenly rang. She immediately silenced it. Just a few seconds later, the phone rang again. After this happened a few times, Gunan Xiao frowned. Afraid of disturbing me, she had to answer the phone. The voice on the other end was particularly clear in the quiet environment. "Hey Xiao, come out and play. All the girls are here. We're just waiting for you." Gunan Xiao refused without thinking. "I have to sleep with a Xiao." "Hey, don't hang up. Hey, stop being like this. How long has it been since you hung out with us girls?" "That's right. You got married and completely forgot your friends. You're too much." The other end was noisy. Gunan Xiao covered the phone. "All right, shut up. I've said that no one in the world is more important than my husband. I want to be with my husband." Even though she said that, the people on the other end wouldn't let go. Different people took turns trying to persuade her. They were determined to drag Gunan Xiao out. During the struggle, I was finally woken up and spoke. "Go out with them. We haven't seen them in a while." Gunan Xiao looked unwilling, but I spoke up again. Finally, she compromised. "Then I'll take you with me. If you don't go, I won't go." On the other end of the line, they immediately started persuading me. "Brother-in-law, come with a Xiao. It's good to go out and have some fun." "That's right, brother-in-law, please. If you don't come, a Xiao won't come either." Finally, I nodded. Only then did Gunan Xiao agree to go out. As soon as we opened the door to the private room, we saw her girlfriends cuddling with a dozen male models. Gunan Xiao's brow furrowed tightly. Without a moment's hesitation, she turned to leave. Her friends immediately understood. They hurriedly shooed away the men beside them. "Go, go, go. Hurry up and go." When all the men in the room were gone, her friends sighed. They pulled at her shoulder. "Xiao, why haven't you changed after all these years? Besides your brother-in-law, no other man can get close to you." Gunan Xiao pushed her away in disgust. She even patted off non-existent dust. "I am a married woman. What would you, an unmarried person, understand?" The whole room immediately burst into laughter. They even looked at me teasingly. Although she said she was meeting her friends from beginning to end, Gunan Xiao only had eyes for me. She coldly refused everyone's invitations and wholeheartedly cut fruit for me. A bowl of delicate, clean fruit brought before me to please me. "Eat up." Everyone sighed and teased one after another. "Xiao, you're the very model of a good wife." But I remained silent. After sitting for a while, I didn't want to continue this act with her anymore. "It's getting late. I am heading back first." Gunan Xiao also stood up to leave. Her friends quickly stopped her. Brother-in-law isn't in good health. He needs a lot of rest. It's been so long since we girls got together. You can't leave early. That's right. Let brother-in-law go home. You stay and hang out with us. I pulled my hand out of Gunan Qiao's grasp. I spoke slowly. The driver will take you home. You should stay. As soon as I finished speaking, I turned and left. I walked very fast. So fast that Gunan Qiao couldn't stop me in time. The car had only been driving for a short while when I felt something in my coat pocket. A phone that wasn't mine. The light purple case belonged to Junan Qiao. I frowned and told the driver to turn back, just as the car stopped. Outside the bar, I saw it. Lin Yao getting out of a taxi. He kept checking his hair and clothes in his phone's reflection. Without looking where he was going, he headed straight for the room. I instinctively tightened my grip on the phone in my hand and followed Lin Yao's footsteps, just as I expected. He stopped at Gunan Qiao's room as soon as he entered. Lin Yao pulled Gunan Qiao into his arms. Junan Qiao naturally wrapped her arms around his waist. She stood on her toes and kissed the corner of his lips. How did you get here so fast? Lin Yao pressed his forehead against hers. Because I missed you so much. I rushed over the moment I got your call. Junan Qiao smiled faintly. Then let me give you a little reward. After saying that, she stood on her toes and gave him a passionate kiss. Then their lips and tongues tangled passionately. All right, stop the PDA. Her friends weren't surprised at all. On the contrary, they seemed to be laughing and teasing. I stood outside the door, watching everything through the crack in the door. I just felt a chilling cold run through my entire body. So everyone knew about her and Lin Yao. They were all putting on an act in front of me. A chow, now that a Yao is here too. We can play a bigger game now, right? Her best friend smirked and even clapped, calling back the men from the next room. Almost every one of them had a man by their side. The game was very simple. Spin the bottle. Whoever the bottle points to has to play truth or dare. They spun it several times in a row. Finally, it landed on Gunan Qiao. Everyone cheered. The atmosphere was reaching its peak. A chow. When was the last time? The questioner smiled suggestively. Everyone understood what she meant. Gunan Qiao raised an eyebrow and calmly replied, yesterday, in the car. This statement immediately caused a stir. Damn, that's intense. Tell us how it felt. Lin Yao was already blushing. He lowered his head and smirked slightly. Word by word, he served me well. It was great. Ha ha ha. I told you. With a chow, people like us, we all play around on the side, as long as you hide it well. Bu Yinggan Qiao will never find out. As she spoke, her best friends kissed the men next to them one by one, letting them grope them, hearing my name. The smile on Gunan Qiao's face suddenly froze. Her expression darkened slightly. She said sternly, don't let a chow hear about this. Otherwise, you know the consequences. Yes, brother-in-law will never find out. Every single word of this reached my ears. The loud laughter inside didn't stop, but my whole body had gone cold. I walked out like a soulless corpse. The driver noticed something was wrong with me and quickly came to help me. He was about to go in and inform Gunan Qiao, but I stopped him immediately. No need to drive me. I want to walk on my own and don't tell Gunan Qiao. I had turned back before. I told the driver to go home on his own. Then I walked alone on the deserted streets. Suddenly, it started pouring rain, but I felt nothing. The cold raindrops only made me more sober. I don't know how long I walked. For a long, long time. It turns out that love really can change in an instant. When I got home, I had a high fever. It wouldn't go down. Gunan Qiao came home smelling of alcohol. Seeing me unconscious, my face flushed red. She immediately panicked. She quickly helped me up and took me to the hospital. When I woke up, I struggled to move my heavy eyelids and finally managed to open my eyes. Seeing that I was awake, the nurse changing my IV drip immediately said happily, Mr. Bui, you're finally awake. You had a fever for a whole day and night. CEO Qiao was extremely worried. She stayed by your bedside the whole time. She only left just now when she received a call. Should I call her? She'll be so happy to know you're awake. I shook my head. My voice was hoarse and strained. No need. The nurse didn't say anything else upon hearing that. After helping me change the drip, she respectfully left. The large hospital room fell silent, so quiet that I could even hear Gunan Qiao's phone call outside. She was always so calm, only losing control when she was in front of me. But now, her voice on the phone was filled with joy and excitement. Not long after, the footsteps faded away. This Gunan Qiao had left. I forced myself out of bed and slowly followed her. After going down a few floors, I saw Gunan Qiao with her arm linked through Lin Yao's, coming out of the andrology department. Seeing my figure, Lin Yao deliberately exclaimed in surprise, Mr. Bui. What a coincidence. You're at the hospital too? Hearing his voice, Gunan Qiao looked up. Her gaze met mine from a short distance away. Her body suddenly stiffened. She quickly let go of Lin Yao's arm. Hey, Qiao. I came downstairs to get your medicine. I accidentally bumped into Lin Yao. He came for a checkup because of low blood sugar. I was worried something might happen, so I was just helping him. She explained nervously and hastily, afraid I would misunderstand. My gaze fell on Lin Yao's face. I suddenly felt my breath catch in my throat. I closed my eyes for a moment. After a while, I said, Mr. Lin, why did you suddenly come to the hospital? And to the andrology department, no less. Lin Yao glanced ambiguously at Gunan Qiao and smiled sweetly. My lover is planning to have a child for me, but I am afraid I might affect the quality of the child. So I came here for a special checkup. The doctor said I am young. The quality is very good. I am in my prime. I believe it won't be long before the child is here. When we have the child, she's even planning a citywide fireworks display to celebrate the upcoming birth of the crystallization of our love, he bragged excitedly. But I just stared at him for a long time before forcing a smile. Is that so? Lin Yao grinned, his expression even more smug. That's right. Since Mr. Bui is free today, why don't we have dinner together? I'll ask my lover to join us. Hearing that, Gunan Qiao's expression suddenly changed. She shot a cold glance at Lin Yao and immediately cut him off. No need. A Chao doesn't have the time. After saying that, Gunan Qiao fawningly took my arm, her tone gentle and coaxing. Chao, you're still not. Well, don't run around anymore. He's just a brand ambassador. No need to pay him any mind. Hearing Gunan Qiao's dismissive tone, Lin Yao's face turned pale, then white. Then he timidly lowered his head. His eyes red with grievance, he said, I got too full of myself. I'm not worthy of having dinner with Mr. Bui. After saying that, he turned and left in a huff. Gunan Qiao's expression shifted slightly. She was about to hurry after him, but she saw me standing beside her, watching her calmly. In the end, she didn't. After buying a pile of medicine, I was discharged and went home, perhaps because she had just yelled at Lin Yao. Junan Qiao was absent-minded the whole way. After dropping me off at home, she immediately used work as an excuse and shut herself in the study. As for me, as soon as I returned to my room, I received a photo sent by Lin Yao. It was a test report. On it, the name of the spouse was Gunan Qiao. Following that was a series of provocative messages. Buing and Qiao, I know you've realized it today. The mother of my future child is Nan Qiao. Don't think she loves you that much. If she really loved you, then what does my existence mean? Do you know how obsessed she is with me? Every year on your birthday and your wedding anniversary, after sleeping with you, she always comes to me. We've done it in your Maybach, in your chairman's office, and even in your marital bedroom. We've left traces of our love everywhere, every position. We've tried them all. They say sex and love are inseparable. Did she do so many tricks for you? Looking at these provocative messages, I took a deep breath and suppressed the surging emotions in my heart. The moment I turned off the phone screen, Junan Qiao hugged me from behind. Darling, what are you looking at? She rested her chin on my shoulder and only saw the screen of my phone, which was dark. Nothing. I looked out the window coldly. The next second, the sky outside the window lit up with countless fireworks. Extremely brilliant. I remembered. Lin Yao had said during the day that tonight, Gunan Qiao would set off fireworks across the city for him. Seeing me staring blankly at the fireworks outside, Gunan Qiao's eyes were full of adoration. Do you like watching this? Then I'll prepare a fireworks show for you too, even grander than this one. Okay, I chuckled, a smile tinged with bitterness. Gunan Qiao, I don't like things that others have used, whether it's fireworks or people. Even though she knew I was talking about the fireworks, her heart suddenly pounded. For some reason, she suddenly felt panicked. After a moment of silence, she hugged me a little tighter. Then I'll prepare a different surprise for you. I remained silent, just quietly gazing into the distance. The next few days, Junan Qiao always left early and came back late, acting all mysterious. Even the maids noticed something was unusual. Teasing, Sir, Madam is secretly preparing a surprise for you. That's right, CEO Qiao really dotes on you. But I just listened quietly, without any reaction, until that day. Gunan Qiao secretly took my hand and led me outside. Qiao, I am taking you somewhere. You'll definitely like it. I was about to refuse, when my phone suddenly buzzed. It was a message from Lin Yao. And Jan Qiao? Take a guess. Right now, in her heart, who's more important, you or me? The next second, Gunan Qiao's phone also buzzed. I only glanced over and saw the content on her phone screen. Lin Yao had sent her a photo of himself in gray sweatpants showing off his abs, followed by a slightly playful line. Time and tide wait for no man. Gunan Qiao's lips immediately curved into a smile. A few seconds later, she put her phone in her pocket. A project has run into some problems. I have to rush to handle it. I'll take you to see the surprise next time. Okay? I quietly looked into her eyes and chuckled, a laugh that inexplicably unsettled her. I immediately got out of the car, without a word, and after only 3 seconds of hesitation, Gunan Qiao's car quickly started up, without waiting for me at all. A few hours later, Lin Yao sent a photo of Gunan Qiao sleeping. Buing and Qiao, you lost again. Maybe she'll get pregnant tonight. Tell me, why is she in such a hurry to have my child? Just how much must she love me? Lin Yao's tone was triumphant. I looked at those photos and still didn't reply. I had already decided to leave. These things couldn't hurt me anymore. The following days, Gunan Qiao didn't come back. I never asked. On the other hand, the messages from Lin Yao never stopped. Sometimes it was fruit cut into pieces. Sometimes it was a closet full of luxury goods. Sometimes it was food he cooked himself. Everything showed just how much Gunan Qiao loved him. I didn't reply. I was busy cleaning up this house. Everything related to me. Since I've decided to disappear, I must disappear completely. The first day, when Lin Yao sent a picture of Gunan Qiao peeling shrimp for him, I prepared a fire pit and burned all the photos taken with Gunan Chao. The second day, Lin Yao sent, and a picture of Gunan Chao kissing him under a sycamore tree. I found a worker and chopped down every cherry tree she had planted in the villa's backyard. The third day, Lin Yao sent a compilation of Gunan Chao's confessions in his live stream room. I found the 100+ love letters Ju Nan Chiao had once written to me. The letters had yellowed slightly with time, but the handwriting was still clear. I caressed those words, then without a trace of regret, I threw them all into the paper shredder. Not a single one left. On the morning of my departure, I had just opened my eyes when I saw Ju Nan Chao, who had been away for days, standing before my bed. She stood before the bed, holding my phone. Seeing me awake, her expression was a little cold. Xiao, your phone just got a message. It said cancellation successful. What did you cancel? Hearing that, my heart skipped a beat. I quickly took the phone back and turned on the screen. It was the message confirming the successful cancellation of my identity. Luckily, my phone has a password. Gunan Xiao only saw a few words on the screen. Only then did I feel relieved. I said casually, "It's nothing. A social media account got hacked. It didn't feel safe. So after getting it back, I just canceled it." Hearing that, Gunan Xiao sighed in relief, but I said nothing more. I got out of bed and went to the bathroom to wash up. After I was done and came out, I saw Gunan Xiao rushing outside. I was silent for only 2 seconds. Then I followed her out, but I stopped as soon as I reached the door because I saw Lin Yao standing not far away. He was now brazenly out in the open, even coming to this very villa. Besides my surprise, the person with the more intense reaction could be none other than Gunan Chao. She quickly walked over, her face cold as she gripped his hand. "Are you insane? Why did you come here? I told you not to show up when a Chao is here." Hearing her shout, Lin Yao's eyes turned red. He tugged at the hem of her clothes, aggrieved. "Can't I bear to be apart from you for even a minute? Besides, I want to spend more time with you and our child." As he spoke, he caressed her stomach, but she said coldly, "Stop fooling around. Let the assistant take you first. I'll naturally come to you in a few days." But Lin Yao refused to go. He held her hand tightly, whining, "I don't want to. I don't want to go with the assistant. I want you to go with me." After saying that, he lowered his head, and holding her face, he kissed her on the lips. Gunan Xiao frowned and tried to push him away, but he clung to her. After a few seconds of pursuit, he held her tightly and began to kiss her passionately. The two of them stood in the flower garden. The kiss gradually deepened as his hands slipped into her shirt. It seemed like he was about to lose control. She stopped him in time and pushed him away. "You should go." Lin Yao's eyes were filled with desire. He hugged her coquettishly and whispered something in her ear. Gunan Qiao's expression changed slightly. Finally, she relented. "Fine. I'll go with you today. You get in the car first. I'll be there in a moment." Lin Yao got his way. He smiled so wide, his eyes crinkled. Getting into the car, seeing Gunan Chao about to turn back, I quickly turned around. A moment later, Gunan Chao entered the house. Her first words were, Xiao, I was planning to spend the day with you, but I just received a call. There's an emergency at the company. I have to go now. You stay home, okay? When this is over, I'll definitely stay home with you all day. Okay?" She waited nervously for my answer, but I just looked up at her. Just one look was enough to make her freeze. She didn't know since when. Her Chao no longer had any light in his eyes. Her lips trembled slightly, and she unconsciously called my name, Xiao. She was about to say something, but I spoke first. My lips curved slightly. My voice was very light, very faint. "Just go. Go be busy with your things." My tone was as gentle as usual, showing no sign of abnormality, which finally put her completely at ease. She didn't think much more of it and turned to leave. Soon, the sound of a car horn came from outside, until it completely faded away. The smile on my face completely vanished. I went inside and took out the suitcase I had already packed. Taking one last look at this house, I sent Gu Nan Xiao one last message. "Half a month has passed. To the anniversary gift I gave you earlier. You can open it now." So the other side replied almost instantly, "Darling, I'll be right back." "Well, open it together then." I laughed. "Gunan Xiao, it's just you alone. For the rest of your life, it will always be just you alone." I forwarded all the messages Lin Yao had sent me recently to Gunan Xiao. Then, without hesitation, I took out my phone's SIM card, broke it. Finally, I picked up my suitcase and walked out. Outside, the sun was rising. The sky was wonderfully bright. From now on, whether to the heavens or the ends of the earth, no one will be able to find me. I held the temporary paper that replaced my ID and took a car to the airport. When the plane took off, everything was in the past. After landing in Country F, I had a new identity as the owner of a seaside inn in Country F. However, at the same time, Gunam Q in Beijing was about to go crazy. Let's go back a few hours. After taking Lam Du home, he still held on to her, not letting go. "Nam Q, you're already here. Aren't you coming up for a bit?" As he spoke, he caressed her palm, drawing circles. Gunam Kyo hesitated slightly. For some reason, an inexplicable sense of panic rose in her heart. "No, I am not going. If you go on up, I still have to go back to a chow." She pushed Lam Du's hand away. She remembered the promise she made to me. He hasn't spent time with me in so long. Thinking of this, The corners of Gu Nam Q's lips turned up, still carrying a hint of happiness. Lam Du again wrapped his arms around her waist, not letting go. Nam Q, didn't you want to see me wear that outfit? You've already brought me all the way here. If you don't see it this time, I won't wear it again next time. Gu Nam Kia's face turned cold, though she said, no, I've already promised to Chow, but under Lam Du's proactive assault, she still had to give in. A few hours later, she straightened her clothes, making sure there were no inappropriate wrinkles. Then she drove home. Hey Chow, I am home. Sorry to keep you waiting. Before she could finish speaking, Q Nam Q felt that something was wrong. The villa was empty. There was no sign of me at all. Her heart pounded. Her eyes subconsciously searched the living room for something, as if expecting me to appear before her at any moment. Hey Xiao, Gu Nam Q called my name over and over again. The panic in her heart grew stronger. An impossible thought gradually surfaced. A Chow had left her. She didn't want to believe it. A Chow, you're joking with me, right? Come out now. Let's open it together. The gift from half a month ago. Didn't we agree? This morning was my fault. I went to work. I am sorry. As Gunam Q spoke, her steps didn't stop. Her eyes scanned the surroundings, trying to find where I was hiding. It was only then that she suddenly realized. It seemed that many things in the villa had disappeared. Where were the photos of her and a Chow? Where did they all go? Gunam Q was on the verge of going mad. All the photos were gone. Even their wedding photo was nowhere to be found. She unconsciously walked to the villa's backyard, where the cherry tree used to be. It was now an empty patch of land. It was almost impossible to tell that a tree had ever been there. The servants were still sowing flower seeds to fill the empty space. Who told you to plant these things here? Where is the cherry tree that was here before? Gunam Q shouted. Her voice held a hint of barely perceptible anxiety. A servant answered, a little flustered. Miss Q, 3 days ago, it was the young master who said he wanted to cut down that cherry tree and burn it. You always dote on the young master, miss. So we followed his orders. The servants looked at each other, feeling extremely tense. What? Burn it? Gunam Kyo took a few steps back in disbelief. She felt as if she had been struck by lightning. She could barely stand. Then do you know where a Chow went? When did he leave? Gunam Kyo unconsciously licked her dry lips. Her voice was hoarse. The servants all shook their heads. Miss, the young master left with a suitcase early in the morning. We don't know where else he could have gone. Her mind went blank in waves, racking her brains. She couldn't think of where I could have gone. The Bui parents had remarried and had their own families. There was no way I would go to them. She could only place her hopes on my friends. Hello. This is Gunam Kyo. May I ask if a Chow is with you? What are you talking about? Why would a Chow be at my place? Conversations like this happened countless times. She even asked all of Gunam Kyo's friends. No one knew where I had gone. That feeling of utter despair crashed over her again and again. It was as if she had returned to the time without me. I was the only love of her life, almost equivalent to her own, flesh and blood, a piece of living flesh being torn from her body. That heart-wrenching pain nearly broke her. Suddenly, she thought of something. She hurried upstairs. On the study door was a note that said, open in half a month. A gentle tear was all it took to remove it. It was as if she had found some hope. She reverently held the gift box. Maybe a Chow left a message in here, hoping I will find him. Gunam Q almost frantically told herself. Layer after layer of wrapping was undone. The box opened. A divorce agreement with my signature on it appeared clearly before her eyes. No, it can't be. She clutched the divorce agreement, sinking numbly into a chair, almost unable to believe what she was seeing. A Chow loves me so much. How could he abandon me? Who switched the gift a Chow gave me? Gunam Kyo gritted her teeth, stubbornly insisting. Then she gathered all the servants in the villa, asking each one who on earth had touched the gift box in the study cabinet. Miss Q, we are only responsible for cleaning. Without orders from you or the young master, we would never touch things we're not supposed to touch. That's right. If you don't believe us, miss, you can check the study's security camera. The truth will surely be revealed. Every servant claimed they didn't do it, but Gunam Kyo still refused to let it go, until the surveillance video was fast-forwarded before her eyes. Only then did she accept the truth. In reality, how could she not have known? The box in her hands was clearly the one I had left half a month ago. It was just that she was struggling in desperation, not daring to admit it. In this short half hour, the torment in her heart felt like it had spanned a century. Her countless questions were all in the hopes of finding an exception that would tell her, a Chow doesn't really want to leave you. However, the truth remained just as cruel. Gunam Q watched the scene of me over and over, stroke by stroke, signing the divorce agreement. The decisiveness showed that I had truly lost all hope in her, and wanted to leave her. But why? She asked herself. During this time, every detail of her time with me was replayed in her mind again and again. The small, unusual things from before gradually surfaced. Perhaps I had long since discovered her affair. Gunam Q thought to herself. She had thought she had hidden it very well, that she could have it both ways with me and Lam Du. She thought she was very careful. That with Lam Du, it was just for fun, that he could never be brought before me, nor could he be discovered by me. Who knew I still found out? When did it all start? I could even be cruel enough to divorce her and disappear completely from her world. Her eyes were wet with tears. Her vision gradually blurred. At this moment, Gunam Q suddenly remembered the words I said when I agreed to marry her. In the future, I will do my best to be your Mr. Boo, but I will absolutely not tolerate any deception. If you deceive me, I will disappear from your world forever. At that time, Gunam Q confidently thought that she would never do anything to wrong me. After all, she loved me so much, so there couldn't possibly be any deception towards me. She even wanted to tear out her own heart and place it before me to show me. But when did it all change? Was it because of the repeated instigation from her close friends, the boring, day-to-day married life, or the countless, persistent pursuers? Gradually, she lost that true heart she once had. She followed the trend, in search of excitement, accepting Lam Diu's crude charms. Countless times, I was unaware of the advice from her friends, still treating her as well as before. This atmosphere made her lost in a fantasy. She confidently thought she could hold everything in the palm of her hand, but she forgot that I was never one to endure humiliation. The clear example of the buoy parents was right before her eyes. I didn't want to follow in my parents' footsteps. Instead of becoming a resentful woman like Mrs. Boy, it was better to part ways early. I understood Gunam Q very well. I knew clearly. If Gunam Q knew I wanted a divorce and wanted to leave, she would absolutely not let me go. She would even use any means necessary to keep me. That's why I left everything behind in China, including all my previous identities and my past, disappearing completely from Gunam Q's world. After understanding everything, Gunam Q couldn't suppress the Comperdata Gautame Kyuki unwillingness in her heart. A chow, it can't be. I can't let you go. She unconsciously wanted to tear the divorce agreement in her hands, but then she realized this might be the last thing I left for her. If she tore it, then even this last memento would be gone. She repeatedly caressed my name with her fingertips, her eyes filled with longing for me. A chow, it's my fault. I shouldn't have been with another man. I only love you. You can hit me. You can scold me. Anything is fine. Can you just not leave me? I can't live without you. Gunam Q's apologies were repeated countless times. Her voice became hoarse, but the person who was supposed to hear them was not there. It was useless to say more. Buingan Chow, I still haven't signed. We are not considered divorced. We are still husband and wife. I will definitely find you. Gunam Q's eyes were cold. She said resolutely, she could never let me go. Gunam Q's eyes were full of determination. She carefully put away the divorce agreement. Luckily, she still had my photo on her phone. It could still soothe her longing. She searched all over the house, trying to find anything related to me. I was so heartless. I had destroyed everything related to me in the house. Just then, Lam Diu's phone suddenly rang. Nam Q, I saw on the internet that the watch is up for auction. Mr. Bui, what did you say? Shu Nam Q's heart tightened. She quickly hung up the phone, not giving him a chance to add fuel to the fire. Assistant Tran, help me check. Is the watch I gave a chow before being auctioned again? If so, no matter how much it costs, you must buy it back. After a long while, Assistant Tran called back, stuttering, unsure whether to speak. CEO Kyo. The watch has already been bought by a foreign collector. We were one step too late. Thud. The phone in Gunam Q's hand immediately slipped to the ground. The screen instantly shattered into pieces. She was just a little too late. How could this be? He had sold it once. How could he be so cruel as to sell it a second time? Could it be that her love meant nothing in my heart? Her gaze fell, full of confusion. Her whole body exuded an air of sadness and despair. She hated herself immensely, and she hated Lam Du even more. If it weren't for Lam Du, would everything have been different? Gunam Q kept a lonely vigil in the empty house, filled with loneliness and disappointment. Just then, Gunam Q suddenly found in the trash can my phone's SIM card. She hurriedly took it out, wiped it clean, and inserted it into her own phone, as if by doing so, I would still be by her side and could talk to her. Suddenly, her phone lit up. A message came from that familiar phone number. Buingan Shao, Nam Q loves me the most. I don't think that by selling the watch, you can make her turn back to you. Did you know? We were still tangled up in this bed today. After that, a photo of a slightly messy bed appeared before Gu. Nam Q. Her eyes were nearly splitting with rage. So it was you. Gu Nam Q's voice was icy. Her entire aura was almost suffocating. Then she typed out a string of words. Lam Du, I remember I warned you not to let a chow know about us. After the message was sent, Lam Du saw it. He chuckled disdainfully. Then he provocatively made a call. Buingan Chow. Since when did you learn to imitate Gunam Q's voice? You even sound just like her. If I were you, I would have gotten lost a long time ago. Nam Q is going to have my child. Maybe after a while, Nam Q will even marry me. At that time, the one who gets kicked out disgracefully will be you. If you don't want that to happen, you'd better make way for me sooner. It'll save you some suffering, lest you end up with nothing and despised. Speaking of this, Lam Du became more and more smug, but the other end of the line remained silent. For some reason, a little panic arose in his heart, but he immediately suppressed it and continued. Buinan Chao, aren't you in despair? So heartbroken, you can't even speak? I told you a long time ago. In Nam Q's heart, there's only me. She doesn't love you at all. With you, she's just pretending. The next second, Gunam Q's voice sounded, completely shattering all of Lam Du's smugness. Oh, is that so? Who the hell do you think you are? To dare provoke a chow? It seems I've been too easy on you, which made you push your luck. Speak. What did you say? To a chow that you shouldn't have. Her voice was extremely cold. Every single word danced wildly on Lam Du's heart. It's over. This time, he's really done for. Lam Du trembled all over. He could barely hold his phone. It can't be, she said. She loved him. She might even be carrying his child. She wouldn't do anything to him. After thinking this, Lam Du immediately found more courage. His voice also took on a wrong tone. Nam Q, I am sorry. I didn't mean it. It's because Mr. Bui scolded me first. I was just fighting back. I was wrong. I admit my mistake. Can you please not be like this? I am really scared. Lam Du imitated his past way of acting weak with Gunam Q, as if he was the epitome of wronged and weak. Only this time, Gunam Q was in no mood to indulge him. Enough? It's fine if you don't tell the truth. I have my ways of finding out. She gave Lam Du no chance to explain and decisively hung up the phone. Then, Gunam Q directly sent people to snatch Lam Du's phone. Before he could even find someone to fake the messages, his phone was snatched away. Opening the phone, clicking on the messages section, it was clear to see. In just a short half a month, Lam Du had sent me countless provocative photos and words. Gunam Kyo looked at those photos and words, too unbearable to look at, and her vision went dark. Her mind roared. During this time, what absurd things had she and Lam Du done? Just putting herself in my perspective, the pain was almost suffocating. She didn't dare to think. During this period, how Xiao must have suffered. If she had encountered this, she probably would have gone crazy long ago. Nam Q's face was pale. The heartache was incomparable. After an unknown amount of time, she gradually calmed down. Of her beautiful face was frighteningly cold. A murderous aura emanated from her. Extremely dangerous. Lam Du was terrified. Nam Q loved him so much. What would she do to him when she knew everything? He didn't dare to think. Just then, he thought of the only way to protect himself. He hurriedly found his live streaming equipment, fixed his makeup and clothes, trying to make himself look pitiful. After getting everything ready, he started the stream, silently shedding tears, looking utterly wronged. Brothers and sisters, I was cheated on. It turns out my girlfriend has another boyfriend. She might abandon me for that man, but she's carrying my child. Why would she treat me like this? She clearly loved me so much before. How could this happen? In Lam Du's fabricated story, he succeeded in creating the image of an innocent, deceived boy. He even twisted black and white, taking everything he did to me and pinning it all on me, while he was the innocent victim. Can everyone help me? I am worried my girlfriend might abort the baby. I can live without her, but I don't want her to get rid of my child. The baby is my emotional support. I can't live without my child, Lam Du said, full of grievance, crying pitifully in the live stream. Countless netizens were enraged. They all stood up for him. How could that homewrecker treat you like that? That woman is really no good. I live near the streamer. I'll go help. Some people were so agitated they lost their cool. They even ran to Lam Du's neighborhood, wanting to demand justice for him. Lam Du gave his address to each of them. Before long, a crowd of onlookers had gathered downstairs. Adieu. Don't be afraid. Even if she's a billionaire, it's still her fault. We're here. We definitely won't let her do anything to you. Countless people stood protectively in front of Lam Du. He felt very safe. However, the next second, Gunam Q got out of a car with a group of bodyguards in black. Take these eyesores away, she ordered coldly. Immediately, the bodyguards in black took action, taking away everyone who was protecting Lam Du. In less than a minute, the space in front of Lam Du was empty. Nam Q, I am sorry. I did something I shouldn't have. But I really love you. It's because I love you that I let those words slip out. I just wanted to be with you. He feigned innocence and leaned against Gunam Q, even grabbing the hem of her clothes to plead earnestly. HMPH. Gunam Q let out a cold laugh. She gripped Lam Du's chin tightly, using so much force that on his face, leaving a bruise. Of all the things you could have done, you shouldn't have touched a Zhao. I remember warning you many times. A Zhou is my life. Now you've chased him away. You must bear the consequences. After speaking, she coldly flung Lin Yao's hand away. Lin Yao stumbled back a few steps, barely managing to stay on his feet. How could you treat me like this? I love you. He looked at Gunan Chao in despair. He never expected her to say such heartless words. Is Bu Yanzhou that important in your heart? Then what about me? What am I? You're carrying my child in your womb. Why don't you even want the baby anymore? For so many days and nights, you were clinging to me in bed. You clearly have me in your heart too. Don't you? He screamed in despair, but it didn't earn him a single glance of pity from Gunan Chao. Shut up, Lin Yao. Remember this clearly. You are just an entertaining toy. What right do you have to be compared to a Zhou? Gunan Qiao's gaze was frighteningly cold, tinged with a bit of malice. Have your child? Are you even worthy? Let me tell you the truth. I took a pill every time after we were done. Gunan Chao waved her hand, signaling the bodyguards to take him away. Hearing that, Lin Yao completely panicked. He stared intently at Gunan Qiao's belly and deliberately ran towards the crowd. These people would surely save him. They had said they would protect him, speak up for him. Gunan Chao waved her hand, signaling the two bodyguards to stop. Don't bother. Lin Yao looked at her despairing back. Her eyes were ruthless, as if looking at a corpse. The next second, Lin Yao fell into even greater despair. The people who had been agitated and lost their calm earlier were now all sober. Again, all of this was thanks to the reputation of Gunan Chao and the Gu Corporation. The news was everywhere. Almost everyone knew of Gunan Chao and the Gunan Chao and the Gunan Kiao and the Gunan Kiao and the Gunan Kiao Corporation. Even if you asked a child on the street, they could tell you a few things about how Gunan Chao doted on me. After all, countless couples and lovers had envied their love. They even told their children about it. When everyone saw Gunan Chao and the group of bodyguards behind her, they realized who she was. It's just that no one expected that Lin Yao, the sweet romance blogger they loved to watch, was actually Gunan Qiao's third party. Immediately, all illusions about Gunan Chao shattered. However, what angered them more was that Lin Yao had used their sympathy to frame the actual husband, Bu Yanzhou, as the third party. To think they had believed Lin Yao, they even stood up to protect him, intending to speak up for him. Anger gradually appeared in everyone's eyes. How could Lin Yao take advantage of their kindness and lead them around by the nose? Water can carry a boat, but it can also capsize it. As soon as Lin Yao rushed over, he was surrounded by countless people, wanting to vent their anger and swallow him whole. They kicked and punched him. Unspeakably vulgar words were hurled at him. Homewrecker, male whore, such words were still considered mild. In their mouths, Lin Yao's entire family was cursed to a bad end. Almost everyone was indignant on my behalf. Gunan Chao saw that it was enough. She slowly walked over and told her bodyguards to disperse the crowd. She used her foot to lift Lin Yao's chin and said coldly, "Apologize and admit your fault to a Zhou on all platforms. The Shaolin account is never to appear before me again." She gave Lin Yao no chance to refuse. Lin Yao lay on the ground, completely stripped of his image. His body was bruised and purple. Lin Yao lay despondently on a hospital bed. Even then, there were bodyguards watching him apologize. To me, not long after, Junan Xiao saw Lin Yao's apology video posted all over the internet. She curled her lips in satisfaction, but she couldn't smile at all. What's the use of an apology? It couldn't bring her Zhou back at all. Until now, she still hadn't found any trace of me. It was as if I had vanished into thin air, as if I had never existed. If it weren't for the traces of my existence still online, Ji Yunan Chao would almost believe that my existence was just a dream. If only on the day a Zhu left, I hadn't gone to see Lin Yao off. Perhaps I wouldn't have fallen into this current situation. If only I had been steadfast and hadn't been seduced by Lin Yao. Gunan Xiao sat in a private room at a bar, sadly drinking one bottle of alcohol after another. She didn't know how long it had been since she last had a good night's sleep. My presence in the house was fading day by day, but she could hardly bear to be at home. However, countless bottles of wine went down her throat, but she couldn't get drunk. On the contrary, she became even more sober. She soberly realized that I was no longer by her side. Gunan Xiao hugged the wine bottle and smiled bitterly. Zhou, I am sorry. I shouldn't be drinking. I clearly know you hate the smell of alcohol on me the most. Can you come out and scold me? As long as you appear before me, I won't drink anymore. She was like an unreasonable child throwing a tantrum. Her close friends heard Gunan Chao was here. They immediately called over a group of handsome young men. Whichever one of you can comfort CEO Chao will not lack for wealth and glory in the future. The young men nodded repeatedly, and one by one found a place to sit near Gunan Chao. Miss Chao, a delicate-looking young man, sat to Gunan Chao's left. His long, slender fingers were like a hazard water snake, slithering nimbly into her clothes. Her face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. She directly grabbed a wine bottle and smashed it over the young man's head. Blood immediately gushed out like a stream. The young man screamed, but Gunan Chao irritably kicked him away. Who gave you people the nerve? You disgusting things, get lost already. In an instant, all the young men in the room were like a flock of birds fleeing outside. Not a single one dared to stay. After all, being groped outside, I was still better than getting your head smashed open and bleeding here. For nothing. Gunan Chao frowned, full of anger. She pinched the bridge of her nose and opened another bottle of wine, tilting her head back to drink straight from the bottle. Her close friends looked at each other and sighed repeatedly. Hey Chao, what's wrong? Lin Yao did wrong and has been punished. Do you really love Bui Yanzhou that much? That's right, he's just a man. With your current status, whatever man you want, you can get. If he leaves, then let him leave. Are you really going to chase after him and not let go? You should show him that, without him, you still have plenty of men. You can still live a better life. That way, he'll obediently come back. That's right, or else, find a few guys who look like Bui Yanzhou. Have them learn to imitate him. Wouldn't that be the same? Her close friends casually opened their mouths to comfort her. Over the years, they had witnessed Gunan Qiao's deep love for me. They also felt it was a bit unworthy, but when this question was raised, it proved that they were also tempted by this kind of life. Countless times before, they had been envious of the love between Gunan Chao and me. They also grew jealous. Because they were known as rich kids, they couldn't find a sincere man. They had also long forgotten how to treat others with sincerity, but Gunan Chao was the exception among them. Even though they had a decent relationship with her, in their dreams, they wanted to pull her down, to make her become like them. Gunan Chao, taking in Lin Yao, meant that she had completely become one of them. They didn't understand what she was suffering and regretting now. It was just a man. What was so special? But when Gunan Qiao heard Their words disrespecting me. Anger surged within her. She grabbed a wine bottle and hit each of them. When she made her move, no one had a good outcome. Those who came forward to persuade her were all beaten until their faces were swollen and bruised. Soon, the room was filled with people lying all over. Bui Yanzhou is my life. If I hear anyone speak ill of him again, watch out for the families behind you. I will absolutely not spare you, Gu Nanchao said bluntly. The room immediately fell silent. No one dared to make a sound. They didn't even dare to move. This was the first time they had seen her so furious. Each one was as timid as a sparrow. After a long while, seeing Gu Nanchao start drinking again, the frozen atmosphere in the room eased up. A woman, unwilling to endure it, went out to call the bar manager. See the man in this photo? Find a few guys who look like him. The more similar, the better. Send them over quickly. The woman coldly pointed at my photo on her phone and conveniently sent a copy to the manager. The bar cooperated with some clubs in Jingxi. Mobilizing a few young men to serve the rich and powerful was naturally not difficult. Not long after, a young man who looked about 50% like me knocked on the door of the room. "Excuse me, did you call for service?" he asked, hesitantly, pushing a small cart with wine and snacks. After opening the door, the others in the room were a little surprised. This young man really did look a bit like Bi Yanzhou. He was just a little younger and much more immature. They signaled for him to go to Gu Nanchao's side. They smiled confidently, not believing Gu Nanchao would refuse this person. "Ma'am, is this the wine you requested?" The young man stood in front of Gu Nanchao and gently called out to her. Gu Nanchao slowly raised her eyes. For a moment, she almost really thought it was me standing before her. "Hey Ju, you're back. You're finally back. I've been looking for you for so long. I've looked everywhere in Jingxi but still couldn't find you." She directly hugged the young man. A few hot tears fell onto his shirt, making him a little embarrassed, but immediately, she sobered up, realizing something was wrong. The scent on him was not at all like a Zhu. He was not her Zhou. Gu Nanchao pushed the person away. Then she coldly scanned everyone present, memorizing who they were. "It seems I just warned you all, but someone couldn't resist. Since it's like this, from now on, we are no longer friends. From now on, we are only rivals. No longer friends. If it weren't for you all, perhaps I wouldn't have done something to wrong a Zhou." Gu Nanchao threw out these words without reservation. Everyone present felt their hearts turn cold. Currently in Jingxi, the Jiyu family stands alone at the top. Offending Gu Nanchao, how could they possibly have a good outcome? Everyone looked at each other, each and everyone worried. One woman angrily slapped herself, hating that she couldn't undo these stupid things. One after another, they all slapped themselves hard a few times. They regretted it so much their insides twisted. Gu Nanchao returned to the cold house, smelling of alcohol. The photos I had dealt with, some still had backups. She printed them out and placed them in their original spots. Some didn't even have backups, so they were lost forever. Although she tried to make the house look the same again, it was still different from before. Without me, the house had lost all its vitality. Gu Nanchao stood by the window. Only then did she discover that from this angle, she could see everything in the small flower garden perfectly. So, on the day I left, I saw her and Lin Yao kissing with my own eyes. Her heart ached sharply. Her palm pressed tightly against her chest, gasping for breath. This pain made her even more sober. "Assistant Tran, is there any news about a Zhou yet?" "Sorry, CEO Chao. We haven't found anything yet." Gunan Chao hung up the phone. It was still the same. Result. During this period, she sent many people to investigate my whereabouts, but I had already canceled my identity information. Even on the day I went to the airport, I used temporary documents. I also bought multiple plane tickets at the same time, going to different corners of the world. Although the Gu family was large and their business vast, their influence overseas was still weak. Finding me was as difficult as climbing to the sky. My identity information was cancelled. This meant that this person had disappeared from the world. Then my marriage to her was no longer valid. That divorce agreement, it was simply the last gift I left for Gu Nanchao, completely drawing a line between us. The funny thing is, she could only rely on the divorce agreement to remember me. She had the divorce agreement laminated. Only then could it withstand her flipping through it several times a day. "Zhao, where on earth are you? I really know I was wrong. I am not asking for your forgiveness. I just hope to see you one more time. Zhou, all those who bullied you have received their due lesson. Even I am suffering both physically and mentally. Can you come see me just once? Zhou." Gu Nanchao didn't know how long she had been murmuring before she fainted from exhaustion. As for the families of her former close friends, the Gu family was not as lenient as imagined. As soon as the news of Gu Nanchao's and my marriage breakup came out, countless people cried out that they no longer believed in love. Countless people had been fans of their couple pairing CP. Because they liked them, they became loyal customers of the Gu Corporation. Once the news of the marital strife came out, these people immediately turned against them. The Gu family, Gu Nanchao, and the Gu Corporation were all criticized by everyone. Photos and details of Gu Nanchao and Lin Yao's affair were released by insiders. Countless people even felt ashamed. For having once been obsessed with the love between Gu Nanchao and me, they wanted to kick them while they were down. All at once, under the official account of the Gu Corporation, they hurled insults. The GU Corporation's stock plummeted continuously. Gu Nanchao was almost in despair. In the end, How was she supposed to find me? It was an unsolvable problem. Suddenly, she thought of something. She could use the internet. No matter where I went in the world, as long as I still went online, as long as there were Chinese people around, they could always help provide her with information. Immediately, Gunan Chao posted a missing person notice online. As long as you provide useful information about my whereabouts after I went abroad, you will receive a reward of 100,000. If you can provide a recent photo of me, the reward is 300,000. As soon as the missing person notice was posted, many netizens were still mocking Gunan Xiao's affair. And the Gu Corporation's stock is probably plummeting, and she comes up with this method to salvage the losses. Such a marketing genius. That's right, all her past displays of love for Bui Yanzhou were probably just marketing. He's so pitiful. His wife cheated, and he was even forced to cooperate with the marketing. If I actually get the money, I'll believe Gunan Chao. At first, the public just scoffed. There were also many who coveted the reward money and deliberately provided some useless information and evidence, until later, when someone actually provided some useful information. Seeing that they could really get the money, many netizens started to help frantically. Even I heard this news. People were everywhere, wanting to know my whereabouts. But I didn't feel the slightest bit moved. On the contrary, I felt a little annoyed. I had already canceled my identity information. Couldn't that still show my determination? I am not a horse that turns back to graze, and I never intended to forgive her. Looking at Gunan Qiao's apologies, I just found it a little laughable. You knew you did wrong, so why could you always pretend like nothing happened before? Many times, I even hoped she could just tell me clearly that she had a change of heart, that she had fallen for someone else. That way, the two of us could have parted amicably. Who knew her body and soul could be separated? Her body enjoyed Lin Yao's love, while her heart and mouth spoke of loving me. Is deceiving me such a fun thing to do? Then let me play with her too. I deliberately provided photos and my whereabouts to a few people, for them to give to Gunan Chao. I smiled coldly and calculated the time. One step ahead, I boarded a plane to go abroad. On the other side of the ocean, an extremely clear photo reached Gunan Qiao's hands, along with several detailed locations. She was so happy her hands were trembling. Joe is planning to forgive me, right? Is he waiting for me to come find him? She immediately booked the earliest flight to Country F. Then she rushed to the airport. 2 planes took off at the same time. Their journeys and destinations were completely different. As soon as she arrived in Country F, Gunan Chao felt a nervous anticipation. She had her assistant check her outfit several times, making sure there were no issues. After preparing herself mentally, she went to my inn. The romantic, gentle sea breeze blew past Gunan Chao. Her heart pounded with excitement. She was actually more nervous than when she confessed her love. Would Joe forgive her? He definitely will. Right? After all, they loved each other so much. They had been in love for so many years. How could they give up so easily? Gunan Chao thought. Deceiving herself, she unconsciously ignored my decisive actions and repeatedly told herself that I still loved her. I was just waiting for an apology. As long as she sincerely apologized, everything could be in the past. They could still go back to how they were before. They definitely could. Gunan Chao bought a bouquet of sunflowers and went to the inn. The hanging wind chimes made a clear, tinkling sound. Cling. Clang. Very pleasant to hear. The inn was decorated very romantically, just like a dreamscape. It's just that she was in no mood to admire it. If she and I had come here together, she would probably be in the mood to appreciate it. Knock, knock. Gunan Chao knocked nervously on the door. The door had not yet opened, but she had already prepared her apology. However, after an unknown amount of time had passed, still, no one opened the door. Maybe he's sleeping. He just didn't hear it, she told herself. Then she knocked a few more times. Still, no one answered. The tension in Gunan Qiao's heart grew more and more apparent. A cold sweat started to form on her palms. She waited for a long time, but no one came to open the door. She was very confused. She subconsciously pushed the door, but unexpectedly, the door was locked tight. It was impossible to push open. On the small blackboard next to it was written, "Closed today." She had originally thought that sign was for her, that I was waiting to see her, and had specially hung the closed sign to not receive other guests, who knew it actually represented a refusal to see her. It was not until this moment that Gunan Chao understood. I had tricked her. I had absolutely no intention of meeting her. I just wanted to use this method to reject her. Everything was telling her, sorry, I don't plan on forgiving you. Gunan Chao looked at this inn in disbelief. Clearly, back when they were still together, they had also talked about wanting to open a seaside inn, to occasionally feel the sea breeze, and just hold each other like that. That was simple happiness. Back then, she knew I liked it. So she sent people to buy several seaside inns in the country. She would take me on trips from time to time. I was very surprised at every place we went. My praises made her heart sweet. But since when did it start? They no longer went on trips together. Gunan Chao recalled in a daze. Ever since she was with Lin Yao, the number of times she accompanied me grew fewer and fewer. We never visited those inns again. The promises from before. Many things were broken promises. Gunan Chao blamed herself more and more. She hated her past self immensely. She had clearly worked so hard to pursue me. She clearly knew I felt insecure. She clearly knew I was afraid we would end up like my parents. But she still let herself go. So many temptations had appeared before her in the past. She had rejected them all. Why couldn't she just continue like that? The current Gunam Chao wished she could drag her past self out for a beating if she could have just stayed firm. Then none of this would have happened. A blonde man saw Gunam Qiao's extraordinary aura. His eyes immediately lit up. It had been a long time since He'd seen a Chinese woman, so beautiful and with such a unique aura. The blonde man raised his eyebrows and tried to hit on her in a familiar way. Beautiful? Interested in having a drink? When his large hand landed on Gunam Qiao's shoulder, she dodged it as if it were a snake. Get lost, she exuded a thick, cold air from her entire body. But it didn't scare the blonde man. Instead, it stimulated his desire to conquer. He still wanted to press his body against hers, to test the waters with his body. In the next moment, the blonde man was thrown to the ground by a disgusted Gunam Qiao. Without any hesitation, the force was so strong it felt like it would shatter his bones. This time, the blonde man was truly scared. He begged repeatedly, "Sorry, I won't do it again. I really won't do it again." He begged for who knows how long. The man's voice had become hoarse before Gunam Qiao let go. "Don't follow me anymore." Gunam Qiao only felt as if her whole body had been sullied. It was extremely uncomfortable. She got a room at a nearby hotel. Scalding hot water poured over her body. She seemed to feel nothing, letting the hot water wash over her body. Her skin was already scalded. Red. Almost a whole layer of skin was burned. She still wouldn't stop scrubbing her body. "Hey Qiao, I am not dirty. Don't find me dirty, okay? I really know I was wrong. You see, a man lunged at me today. I rejected him without any hesitation. Please don't not want me, okay?" Gunam Qiao muttered again and again, almost going mad. The phone on the bed kept ringing. They were all from netizens, sending large numbers of photos and information about my whereabouts. Gunam Qiao could barely distinguish which ones were useful and which were useless, those who came for the reward money. There were too many fakes mixed in with the real. Even though she had hired some people to help filter them, it was still a huge amount of work. At this moment, she slightly regretted her initial decision, but there was no other way. Besides borrowing the power of netizens and me revealing myself, she had almost no way of finding my whereabouts. Gunam Qiao sat on the bed, almost in despair. At this moment, several assistants sent over a few different photos. "CEO Qiao, someone has revealed. I appeared in front of a famous church in a certain country. We have sent people to look. We hope you can get here quickly." After receiving this news, Gunam Qiao's faith was rekindled once again. Regardless of whether it was real or fake, she had to give it a try. She couldn't give up this only hope. The days without me, she could barely live a single day. I was like the water and oxygen she relied on to survive. Indispensable. To be able to persist for so long was already her struggling to hold on. A fish out of water before it dies always has to struggle one last time. Gunam Qiao hadn't rested properly for who knows how many days. Every day she didn't see me. She would almost only sleep when her body strongly protested, and then only for a brief hour or two, because she was afraid of missing any news about me on the plane to that country. She still didn't forget to handle work back home. The plane landed. As she went to get her luggage, she didn't know that. At that moment, I was just boarding a plane at this very airport. Coincidentally, she once again missed my plane taking off. Gunam Qiao hurried to the area near the church. She asked all the surrounding hotels, but no one had seen me. She didn't know how long she had been searching. Finally, at a hotel on a street corner, she got some news about me. "This handsome Chinese man, he checked out today. You're too late. If you had come a few hours earlier, you might have been able to meet him." The hotel staff answered enthusiastically. Gunam Qiao stood frozen on the spot. She was just short a little time and luck. It was clearly just a matter of a few hours. She could have met me again. Could the heavens be so cruel, not even letting her see me once? After thanking them, she left as if she had lost her soul. Wandering in a foreign land, she couldn't find a place to belong. In an instant, she seemed to recall the time before she met me. Back then, she had never thought she would love someone like that. She had never even thought about getting married. She just thought she would spend her whole life with her work. But in the moment she met me, she knew she had fallen. The feeling of being smitten was foreign to her, and it also made her taste the sweetness of happiness for the first time. Gunam Qiao was filled with self-blame. If there were a chance to do it over, she would definitely stay true to her heart. But unfortunately, life doesn't give second chances. She stood on the unfamiliar street, as lost as a child. Should I continue searching? That was certain. But where to start? "Hello. The man in the photo and I are husband and wife. It's just that he's angry with me. He got lost. I am looking for him. Could you please provide me with his contact information?" Gunam Qiao asked, sincerely. The hotel staff hesitated for a long time, until she took out a large sum of money. Only then did he smile, and hastily gave out my contact information. After making the call, no one answered for a long time. He must still be on the plane. Gunam Qiao comforted herself. To prove her determination to apologize to me, she posted an apology letter online, word by word, sentence by sentence. It detailed how she went wrong step by step, wrote about how she came to realize her own heart, and understood her mistakes. Her apologetic attitude was very sincere. She even posted a new apology letter almost every day, hoping that I would see it. The attitude of some netizens gradually changed. From initial hatred, it gradually turned to pity. They even started speaking up for Gunam Qiao. I saw those apology letters, and only found them a little ridiculous. If I hadn't left, would she have apologized like this? No, she probably would have become more and more unrestrained, from having only Lin Yao to having more men. Cheating is either 0 times or countless times. I asked and answered myself. Why should I forgive her? Isn't my current life good? I have fulfilled a dream I couldn't fulfill before, opening a seaside inn, raising a few pets, occasionally meeting some interesting friends, sometimes doing nothing at all, just lying at home, painting the landscapes I've seen. After leaving Gunam Chao, I found that my health was much better. When I went for a checkup, the doctor often praised my good health. I closed my eyes. No longer caring about the rumors online. I knew clearly what I wanted. It was so hard to leave. I would absolutely not go back to my previous life. The plane landed. I had just turned off airplane mode when a familiar phone number appeared before my eyes. It was a call from Gunam Chao. I hung up and blocked the number without hesitation, but that alone wasn't enough. Gunam Chao is very persistent. Block one phone number, and she would use another to call me. Back when she was confessing her love, she could persist so many times. It was enough to see her willpower. Countless harassing calls came in. I wasn't moved in the slightest. Only annoyance remained in my heart. Now she regrets it so much. Who is she pretending for? Anyway, I don't know how many times I hung up. I answered the phone, filled with anger. Gunam Chao, we have absolutely no relationship anymore. I don't love you anymore. The decisive words flowed out, blocking all the apologies from the other end of the line. Gunam Chao was stunned into silence. Her lips trembled for a long time. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. It was clearly a rejection. Yet she was so moved she almost cried, because it had been so long since she had heard my voice. She only saw the latest photos sent by netizens. Only then did she feel alive. Now, hearing my voice, she was too emotional to speak. After a moment of silence, Gunam Chao clumsily apologized. Chao, I was wrong. I was not right. I shouldn't have gotten involved with other men. I won't have a child for Lin Yao. I've already sent him away. I beg you. Can you forgive me? I'll do anything you want. Just don't not want me. She pleaded earnestly. I remained calm. I smiled faintly and said slowly, all right, I forgive you. This unexpected answer. Almost stunned Gunam Chao. Really? She barely had time to think about the deeper meaning of my words and hurriedly asked again. I let out a cold laugh. Isn't this the answer you wanted? I won't hold the past against you. I've forgiven you. Are you satisfied now? If you're satisfied, then this is the end. It's just a phrase of forgiveness. You can hear it as many times as you want. But if you want to go back to how things were, that's impossible. How can a completely shattered mirror be made whole again, even with glue? It can't be restored to its original shape. After saying that, I decisively hung up the phone, giving Gunam Chao no chance to continue apologizing. I had said before, if I no longer loved her, even committing suicide would be useless. Gunam Chao only now remembered this point. She wanted to send a message, but found she had been blocked again, receiving my verbal forgiveness. Gu. Nam Chao didn't feel any better in her heart. I clearly knew that wasn't what she wanted, but I still said it anyway. I really don't love her anymore. She truly broke my heart. Junam Chao had never realized this so clearly. Perhaps from the moment I left away, she had realized it. It's just that she was always deceiving herself, pretending not to notice, tricking herself into believing I still loved her, that I was just waiting for her to apologize. Junam Chao felt a pain like a knife twisting in her heart. She could see almost no hope for the future. What on earth could she do to win me back? Even she didn't know. Just meeting was already difficult, let alone asking for my forgiveness. My phone number was called too many times. I really couldn't take it anymore. I canceled this phone number directly and got a new one, afraid that Gunam Chao would find me again. I took a plane again. 2. The empire. The world is so vast. Finding one person in a sea of people is really not easy. Just as Gunam Chao was about to chase after me again, suddenly, there was a problem with the company back home. Lin Yao, after being disfigured, almost went insane. Online, everyone wanted to beat him up. Even in real life, he was despised by everyone. Wherever Lin Yao appeared, he was met with disdainful looks. He couldn't find a job and could barely survive. The luxury items Gunam Chao had given him before, the houses and cars were all mercilessly taken back. The money in his card was not nearly enough for his extravagant spending. He was truly at a dead end. So Lin Yao made a bold decision. He publicly accused Gunam Chao of tax evasion and embezzling public funds. He also joined forces with several families suppressed by the Gu family to target the Gu family together. Gunam Chao, in order to avenge me before, had ruthlessly suppressed the families of those close friends who had insulted me. This time, they caught her weakness. How could they not fight back? Lin Yao didn't care that he was being used, as long as he could get revenge. He didn't care about anything. He wasn't living well. So, on what basis should Gunam Chao live well? Just reporting her wasn't enough. He also opened a new account and directly exposed her while playing the victim, telling the whole story of his past with Gunam Chao to all the netizens. For a while, the Gu group, whose reputation had just improved, had its reputation collapse once again. Even Gunam Chao's image was damaged repeatedly. She was forced to announce her return to the country for investigation. She could only temporarily stop her pursuit of me. The situation back home was chaotic. Several traitors also appeared in the company. For a time, the Gu group fell into even greater difficulty. Many companies We're waiting to get a piece of the pie from Gunam Chao's hands. Even if the Gu group could get through this, it would still lose a layer of skin. Such a huge machine, even if only a little leaked from between its fingers. It would be enough for some companies to grow stronger. Many people were staring intently. Gunam Xiao was besieged from within and without. For 3 consecutive months, she didn't sleep well. Lin Yao was sent to prison by her on charges of spreading rumors. The authorities investigated for a long time and found that the Gu group did indeed have financial loopholes. After a fine of 70 million, the matter was considered over. It's just that the Gu group lost quite a few personnel and also lost many partnerships during the investigation. It was severely damaged. Grandpa Gu, who hadn't managed affairs for a long time and had retired to the Prosen Mountains, was also disturbed by this incident. Looking at his granddaughter, who was as thin as a stick, Grandpa Ju sighed repeatedly after the company's situation improved slightly. Grandpa Jiu called Gunam Chao back. His cane slammed on the ground, making a dull thud. Kneel. Gunam Chao, her face pale, knelt down. Her whole body was so thin, it was just skin and bones. Nam Chiao, is this how I taught you? I've advised you countless times to keep your heart steady, to live your own life well. What did you promise me before? And what have you done now? Grandpa Ju was so angry his chest heaved. He could barely breathe. His cane slammed on the ground several times. Gunam Chao lowered her eyes slightly. Her voice was hoarse. I was wrong. I have wronged a Chao. Seeing this, Grandpa Gu shook his head repeatedly. Men, bring the family discipline rod. The butler brought over the discipline rod, a glossy black rod with sharp thorns. Just one strike was enough to split the skin and tear the flesh. The butler swung the rod hard. Then Gunam Chao let out a groan. Fresh blood immediately flowed out. She gritted her teeth and endured, but she couldn't fight her body's weakness. She only took one hit before she staggered and fainted. One must know that. Before, when Gunam Chao was a teenager and did something wrong, she had endured more than 10 blows and had gotten through the family discipline. Grandpa Gu was also instantly panicked. He hurriedly had someone call the private doctor to care for her. After an injection, Gunam Xiao finally had a good sleep. In a daze, she seemed to return to the past. Back to the day I proposed to her. A Chao. A Chao. Gunam Xiao's eyes were tightly shut. Her pale face was beaded with a thick cold sweat. Her lips were bitten until fresh red. Blood dripped out. She had mumbled my name who knows how many times. Grandpa Gus' cloudy eyes showed a hint of worry. He heaved a deep sigh. The assistant searched for several days and finally found my latest contact method. Mr. Buingen Chao. It's me. I am Gunam Qiao's grandfather. You met me when you got married. I had just finished with a customer and was still dazed when I received this call. Old Master Gu, what can I do for you? If it's to persuade me to reconcile with Gunam Chao, then there's no need to talk about it. It had been a while since I was bothered by Gunam Chao. I thought she had given up. Who knew she had just changed her method? And even asked Grandpa Gu to step in. I smirked sarcastically. Grandpa Gus' voice was a bit weak, but he still tried to speak. Mr. Bui, I know Gunam Chao wronged you in the past, but now my granddaughter is sick. I am not asking you to forgive my granddaughter. I am just asking you to come visit my granddaughter once. Consider it giving my granddaughter some closure. Rest assured, I won't let my granddaughter bother you again. Consider it a plea from this old man. I was silent on the other end of the line for a long time. Finally, I answered resolutely, sorry. I am living very well now. I don't plan on returning. If I return, will I be able to leave again? I don't know. The GU family is powerful and influential. I am just an ordinary person. Please, let me go. She once loved Lin Yao. Of course, she will also be moved by others. I won't be the only one. And no one will ever be the only one in her heart. She is just too stubborn to let me go. As long as enough time passes, I believe she will forget me. Having said this much, Grandpa Gu had no way to persist either. He had pleaded. He had advised. Gunam Chao didn't know how to seize the opportunity. If you do something wrong, you must bear the consequences. Since it's like this, I won't try to persuade you anymore. If you still have some lingering feelings for her, then please come visit her. If not, then let's pretend we never had this call today. Grandpa Gu said helplessly. I was very grateful. Thank you, old Master Jiu. After hanging up the phone, Grandpa Jiu also sent over a video. It was the video of Gunam Chao unconscious. I was a little surprised watching it. I didn't expect that in just a few short months. She had turned herself into such a state, half human, half ghost. But this also had nothing to do with me. There was no longer any heartache in my heart. All my love was buried in China, so I didn't plan to go back. There would be many people to take care of Gunam Chao. There was also Grandpa Gu. She didn't need me to visit her. Better not to disturb them. Otherwise, it will only cause more trouble. A Chao. Gunan Chao startled awake. She was still calling my name. Grandpa Ju sat by the bed with a dark expression. Gu Nan Chao. From this day on, you must focus on your work. Take good care of your health. You are not to look for Buyen Gan Chao anymore. Understood? Ju Nan Chao didn't understand, coughing violently a few times. She spoke in a hoarse voice. Why? He's my husband. I haven't signed the divorce agreement. We're not divorced yet. As long as I am determined, as long as I am sincere, he will forgive me sooner or later. That person is actually very soft-hearted. As long as I coax him a little more, he will forgive me. Silence. Grandpa Gu cut her off. Then he took out the recording of his conversation with me and played it by her ear. The clear voice echoed throughout the room, completely shattering all of Gunan Qiao's confidence. Until the recording finished playing, the room was still dead silent. After a long while, she kept muttering, "Impossible. This is fake. I have to find a Qiao. I have to see him. I have to tell him. He is my one and only. I will only ever love him in this lifetime." Gunan Qiao scrambled out of bed, disregarding everything. She ripped the IV needle from her hand and dragged her weakened body outside. Grandpa Gu didn't stop her. Just as expected, she had only taken a few steps before she weakly collapsed to the ground. The wound on her back, which had just started to heal, tore open again, blossoming with flowers of blood. Gunan Qiao gritted her teeth. Her eyes were bloodshot and wide, forcing herself to get up and continue. This time, she still only managed a few steps before fainting again. Grandpa Gu shook his head. "Carry her back to the bed. I'll watch her carefully. Let her recuperate. Don't let her out." After saying that, he hurriedly poured a few pills into his mouth. Grandpa Gus's health was not good either. His seclusion in the mountains was also to recuperate. It's just that he never expected in his old age. He would still have to come out and deal with these trivial matters. 3 days later, Gunan Qiao's health finally improved. She tried to run away again, but she didn't get far before being caught by Grandpa Gus's men and brought back. "Nan Qiao, let it go." Grandpa Jiu was wearing a patient's gown. His face was much paler. Seeing this, Gunan Qiao also fell silent. She stood where she was and stopped trying to run. "Nan Qiao, Grandpa doesn't have much time left. I don't know how much longer I can be with you. Consider it Grandpa's last wish. Stop looking for Buiying Nan Qiao. Letting him go is also letting yourself go." Hearing this, Nan Qiao looked down, lowering her eyelids. Her expression was unreadable. After a long while, she almost reluctantly uttered a reply. "Fine, I won't look for him anymore." After receiving this answer, Grandpa Gu seemed to have resolved a great worry. His body suddenly collapsed. Gunan Qiao stayed by his sickbed, promising, "Grandpa, I will take good care of the family business from now on. I will no longer go see Bui and Jan Qiao." After accompanying Grandpa Gu through his final days, Gunan Qiao's entire demeanor became even colder. Before, when I was still there, she was never this serious. She would even smile occasionally. But now, she almost always exudes a chilling coldness. Junan Qiao became like a working machine. Apart from going to the hospital for checkups, she practically lived at the company. Under her leadership, the company grew stronger and stronger. The love story that once made countless people envious gradually became known to fewer people. Only Gunan Qiao always wore that wedding ring. When someone asked, she would smile happily and say, "I am married. We love each other very much. He's waiting for me at home. I have to go home early." However, she rarely returned to that cold house. A home without me was no different from any other place. Some who knew the truth thought she was crazy. Those who didn't know thought she was truly a capable woman. Many men tried to woo her. She rejected them all. To silence everyone, she adopted a talented young boy and kept him by her side, teaching him diligently. The next year, that boy had grown up, capable enough to take on important responsibilities. Junan Qiao then entrusted the company to him and went to country F alone. When she arrived outside my inn, she thought, "Grandpa, I have followed your wish. For 20 years, I didn't go see him. I also want to fulfill my own last wish." Gunan Qiao heard the familiar sound of wind chimes. This time, the inn's door was open. The small blackboard next to it read, "Now open. Welcome to stay." Knock knock. She knocked on the door. "Excuse me, are there any vacant rooms?" Inside the inn, a young mixed-race girl called towards the back, "Dad, someone wants to check in." The moment I stepped out, Gunan Qiao, who was outside the door, ran away. She no longer had the courage to appear before me. I had a new family, a new life. I no longer belonged to her. Gunan Qiao, not far from the inn, bought a shop and opened a post office, specializing in sending letters to one's past self. Even though they knew the recipient wouldn't get it, people still came to write letters occasionally. She wrote a letter to her past self. It had only a few simple words. "Treat him a little better." The two shops were clearly just 2 streets apart, but they never once met. Even after Gunan Qiao found out that the mixed-race girl was my adopted daughter, she still didn't come to see me, only secretly glancing at me a few times and hearing news about me from others.